You're raised in the heart of California. Your old man repaired rigs and drank heavily. Never abusive, just mentally absent. Sat in the identical armchair every evening, television blaring, as if he wanted to vanish inside the static. Your mom manned a hardware store counter until her spine gave out. You quit high school at 17 because math equations don't pay the utility bills. You score a gig at a junkyard, yanking components off wrecked automobiles. You have a gift for machinery. You can diagnose a bad motor the exact way a maestro catches an off-key pitch. No one gives a damn about that talent. Not yet. Wrench strolls into the lot when you turn 22. He rides a '98 Softail with a timing chain tearing itself apart. Leather cut, silver beard, club insignia. You sort it out in 4 hours. He drops by the following week and the one after that. On the fourth trip, there's no motorcycle, just a 6-pack of beer. He takes a seat on a wooden crate and treats you like you exist. Questions if you've ever owned a bike. You tell him no. He hauls over a battered Sportster the next weekend. Within 30 days, you're hanging at the compound on Saturdays. Renovated warehouse, gravel driveway, liquor, billiards, a line of choppers parked like they rule the block. Dudes in leather, bass you feel in your ribs. It's the first time a crowded room seems happy you arrived. That sensation is the merchandise they peddle. Pledging means a solid year of being nobody. You scrub the headquarters, the urinals, the ash buckets, the hardwood. You pull door duty at blowouts, completely sober for 8 solid hours. You cruise at the tail end of the pack, swallowing fumes. A fully patched guy named Knox dispatches you on a 2-hour ride to fetch a pizza. You deliver it freezing cold. He tosses it in the trash. The exam wasn't about the food. It was about whether you'd obey. You obeyed. They patch you in on a Thursday night. Wrench hands over your cut. Grim Reaper logo. Bottom rocker. 1% tag. 2 pounds of cowhide that weighs far more than it physically should. A celebration follows. Guys buy you shots. Wrench drags you into a corner. He says the logo means every guy in this room would do hard time before dropping your name. It feels like a vow. It's actually a toll. For 24 months, life is golden. Saturday runs across the valley, 50 riders long. Cookouts where everybody's children play in the yard. Holiday bashes where dudes who look like felons wear Santa suits. They bankroll a shop for you. Proper equipment, a hydraulic lift, your title on the marquee. Every machine in the charter passes through your bays. You always have a designated chair at the table. You're valuable and you fit in. You mistake those for being the exact same thing. The mechanic shop is legitimate. Its financial backing is not. You start noticing things in fragments. A saddlebag way too heavy to just hold denim. A taped-up package in your storage room. Hold on to it, don't look inside, a guy is coming for it Tuesday night. Cash deposits that don't correspond to any mechanic work. You elect to stay quiet. Then Preacher, the charter boss, pulls you into a meeting. He's composed, amicable, speaks like a corporate executive. The Brotherhood has financial ventures. ICE moving across 3 county lines, extortion at a handful of taverns, firearm trafficking, low volume. Your shop is going to wash some of the currency. Nothing crazy, just enough to require receipts. He questions if you're okay with it. The question is purely for show. Preacher operates the charter like an enterprise. Fraternity is the marketing, income is the actual product. He monitors profits by zone, hosts monthly briefings with talking points, mentions market dominance completely straight-faced. The veterans who patched in just for the love of the road are getting marginalized. Wrench grumbles about it one evening, muttering that the patch used to stand for something else. Preacher gets wind of it. Wrench gets stripped of his collection route, the gig he held for 12 years, and gets bumped down to property upkeep. He's mopping the compound floors at 58 years old. He never grumbles again. A brother named Snake gets busted. Trafficking, felony, nabbed with enough crystal to trigger federal guidelines. The Brotherhood's code is clear. If you take the fall, we look after your blood. Jail commissary, house payments, defense attorneys. Snake leaves behind a spouse and a 9-year-old boy. For the initial 90 days, Preacher delivers the funds right on schedule. The 4th month, the amount shrinks. The 6th month, it ceases entirely. Snake's wife rings the compound. No one answers. You bring it up to Preacher. He claims Snake understood the hazards.
The Brotherhood has overhead. Funds are distributed based on strategic worth, and Snake is no longer strategic. That specific phrase completely redefines everything you believed the patch represented. You begin mailing Snake's wife $500 a month out of your own pocket. You keep it a secret. It isn't philanthropy, it's a contingency plan. Because if the feds take you, you need to believe somebody would step up. You're almost certainly incorrect about that. You tie the knot with Sarah. She pours drinks at a joint the Brotherhood taxes. She was raised around the 1% lifestyle, understands the commerce hiding behind the leather. For a bit, it's fine. Then the middle-of-the-night phone calls begin. Then the stacks of bills in the wardrobe she isn't allowed to question. Then a brother marches through your dining room at midnight with crimson stains on his denim. She stays quiet, but the quietness between you two grows impossibly heavy. There is one run that will stay with you forever. The annual trip to the shoreline. 63 choppers tearing down a 2-lane blacktop through the redwoods. The roar is a tidal wave of engine noise that scares off flocks of birds a half-mile away. You're cruising dead center in the formation. The breeze reeks of evergreen and burnt gasoline. No one is arguing about cash or turf or who owes who. It is nothing but velocity, roar, and the asphalt dragging you onward. Wrench is cruising right beside you. He's smiling beneath his lid like a teenager. For roughly 120 minutes, the Brotherhood is precisely what you dreamed it would be. Guys on steel horses with nowhere to exist but the upcoming bend in the road. You pull over at a roadside diner overlooking the ocean. Everybody crushes burgers, talks trash, and watches the daylight fade. It is the nearest thing to tranquility you've experienced since earning your rocker. You grip that specific memory the way a suffocating man clutches a floating plank, because every single thing after that afternoon goes to hell. The Vagos encroach on your borders, pushing weight in your taverns, prospecting on your soil. Preacher addresses it with sit-downs initially. Those last maybe 7 days. Then a brother's chopper is set on fire. A pub owner's storefront is shattered. One of your crew catches a blade in a diner parking lot. You're not the one firing the weapons. You're just repairing the motorcycles they used to flee the scene. You're laundering the paper that pays for the war. Your hands are legally unsoiled. Your initial genuine crime goes down on a Tuesday evening. Not the laundering, not the stashing of goods. A tavern boss 3 towns away has been handing envelopes to the rival club instead of yours. Preacher demands a readjustment. You ride out with Knox and 2 other guys. The pub is locked up. You bypass the back deadlock, a trick you picked up at the Junkyard, not from the crew. Indoors, Knox finds the lockbox. You play lookout. Nothing crazy happens. No shouting, no bloodshed. You walk out with 14 grand and drop a standard playing card on the counter. The Grim Reaper sketched in permanent marker. The proprietor will get the message. You cruise back to your house. Your share is 2 grand. It required 11 minutes to make. Your auto shop pulls that in a stellar week. You justify it to yourself by saying you just watched a door frame. You didn't steal a thing. You didn't assault a soul. The mental gymnastics get easier each time, and that is the detail that ought to terrify you. You take a trip with Torque to see a supplier who's been holding out for the charter. Torque doesn't even elevate his tone. He shatters the guy's knuckles with a steel mallet like he's pounding out a fender crease. On the drive home, he chats about his little girl's softball tournament. The massive disconnect between those 2 realities doesn't even show on his expression. It shows perfectly on yours. Sarah stuffs a duffel bag on a Wednesday while you're wrenching at the shop. A piece of paper on the kitchen island. She adored the man you used to be, refuses to witness the man you're morphing into. Don't try to contact her. Your mom rings you 3 days after Sarah bails. She caught wind of the gossip, small town grapevine. Sarah's friend mentioned it to somebody who passed it along. Your mom asks a single question. Are you in deep? You tell her no. She stays silent for an eternity. Then she murmurs, your dad wasn't an evil person. He just lacked the ability to stop making the wrong decisions. I watched him fade him so gradually. I didn't realize it until he was already a ghost. She disconnects. You remain standing by the refrigerator, gripping the receiver. It is the most devastating thing anyone has ever uttered to you. Not because it was malicious, but because it was true. The alphabet boys start lingering in the shadows. Unknown sedan parked down the block from the compound. 3 consecutive days. A new face at the garage asking too many questions about your daily routine. A brother takes a pinch on a petty violation, bonds out in under 2 hours. Somebody is singing. Preacher senses it too. Briefings shift to abandoned lots. Cell phones are swapped out every 7 days. You